Okay, viewers, this is Dr. VOND, Dr. James VOND, otherwise Dr. James VONDUTCH in full. And right now I'm at, that's the Belgrade Theatre there, right behind me. And it's located on Upper Well Street and also on Corporation Street itself. And across the road is Telegraph Hotel. And today's date is Wednesday, the 8th of April 2026. I've made some videos earlier today at Hillfields area of Coventry, which is about a quarter of a mile away from the city centre. And I'm on my bike right now, making this video, holding the camera in my hand, which isn't really advised or recommended. It should be really mounted. But I'm not travelling that fast, obviously, and it's not an electric bike, which are very fast actually. I can't afford an electric bike, obviously. Like I mentioned, I am struggling on finances, so this is the best I could do. It's this normal mountain bike, which requires quite a bit of effort, especially going up hills and things. Anyway, so that's the Belgrade Theatre. Thought I'll get it in for you. Maybe it's a theatre act or something, eh? Not exactly CBI, the Chinese Burma India Theatre of Wars. You know, at World War II, they had the CBI, that's the China Burma India Theatre of War operations in the Pacific. All the Allies were fighting against Japan, Imperial Japan at that time. So this is a city village as well, and it's called City Village up here. Let me just get the words in for you. A lot of student accommodation has been built up around here in Coventry recently. In the past decade or two, there's been a big influx of student accommodation, and student population has obviously risen considerably from international areas, from all parts of the world. So let's get that in for you. City Village, students, down students. That's the recent change. As obviously business has been geared towards the student community, and as you're aware, there's two universities in Coventry. The one in the centre is Coventry University itself, which used to be known as Lancaster Polytechnic. And there's also Warwick University, which is on the outskirts of Coventry, about 6 miles away. So those are the two main universities. So that's where the student accommodation business comes into effect, accommodating their needs, of course, in the city. But some of them get accommodation elsewhere. The Warwick University ones, particularly, they get accommodation in other areas like Canley, Kenilworth, and Leamington Spa itself, and maybe even in Warwick Town itself. More likely to be Leamington, which is the next closest to them, being on the outer skirts. Warwick University, obviously, of Coventry. It is more closer to Kenilworth and Leamington. So their students might be residing in those towns as well. But still, Coventry itself has built a lot of new buildings, and I'm assuming most of them are towards the student community. So that's the greatest change in the population, recent-wise. It's been going on for over a decade, at least 2 decades, I'd say. Since I left University of Warwick, population of the students has been going up considerably, of the students in the Coventry area in particular. And that's the Salvation Army headquarters up there, where I'm pointing to. And that's for accommodation for them as well, the homeless. But that's not where I was. I was at the Life Centre on Harnell Lane. That's where I was for three nights before I was eventually offered supported housing for the homeless. And those JCT workers, the Jesus Centre workers who found me actually work on Lamb Street, which is over there. Can you see that? Just next to the Salvation Army. It's over there. So I'm pointing to that direction. That's Lamb Street, and that's where they're based. The Jesus Centre, or JCT Centre, as also known, the abbreviated version. I mean, James Bond, he's a spoiled guy, wouldn't you say? He gets to stay in hotels, and he's not even an asylum seeker or refugee. He is spoiled, and obviously he gets champagne as well, Bollinger 61, things like that. Drinks vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. Why is it shaken? What does he need to be shaken for? Maybe he's a baby shaker, hey? Shaken baby syndrome, eh? Oh, I don't think that could happen if you stir the drink, eh? Vodka martini. So he's into vodka. Russians drink vodka like the standard drink, isn't it? Not really good for you, is it? Really, that sort of content of alcohol in the long run. Doctors wouldn't recommend it. Maybe now and then, a toast or something. Have a short or something, of either vodka or whiskey or something, or rum, which is a bit more safer. Okay, I'll just get this in. That's the city point. Can you see that? Again, I think that's accommodation for the students of Coventry. There's a city point and there's a village thing as well. So could it be considered as a city as well? Obviously it's a city. And there's a village community as well. Students maybe. International students. So I was at the Belgrade Theatre. I've just circled myself, going all the way around it, and just showed you some of these new buildings that have been built in the past 2 decades, I'd say. Even these buildings there, those car parks there, they've been built in the past 2 decades. So it is expanding quite fast. It is a kind of modernish city now, but it's not that populated. It's only about 350,000 people, not even 500,000 people. It is a small city on that side of things, but it's a lot bigger than Leamington. Leamington's only about 50-something thousand, and that's about the same as Greenland. Entire population of Greenland, which is incredible, isn't it? Greenland is hardly sparsely populated, and it's such a large country, one of the largest countries in islands in the world, isn't it? If you don't count Australia as an island. And there's some eateries here, pizza eateries, etc. And there's also Bond Street up here. The name Bond has also been removed. Bond Street used to be called Bond Street, and they've removed the name. Just a small little street, you see here. Just like they removed the name on West Street and even Napier Street in Hillfields. So some of the street names have disappeared somehow. Someone's pulled them off or something. They are small streets, but maybe that's why they're not really bothered about putting the new name for them, with a label showing that it's that street. But this street here, can you see that there? If I point to it, that direction there, that is all Bond Street. And that pub, the Town Wall Tavern, that's actually on Bond Street. There's even a Bond Street hospital there as well. That's Bond's court accommodation there. And it's not far from New Look store as well. So that guy, he is a bit spoiled. He drives expensive cars, isn't he? Bond character, fictional character. Obviously, I'm VOND, not Bond, with a V. V for Victor, victory, or victory OND, as in Bond, or Victor OND. or Vengeance maybe. Remember Vengeance, one Vengeance, those German rockets? I mean, that guy, von Braun, Werner von Braun, he was recruited by the Americans. He worked for NASA, and he speeded up their space program and their missions to the moon, for instance. Without his rocket technology and engineering knowledge, they would have been decades behind. He actually helped them get to the moon much quicker. People like that, the German scientists and engineers that they recruited after World War II ended. So they end up on that side as well. Although there were enemy figures when they were obviously working for Germany during World War II, when they were recruited by NASA, they were obviously on their side, speeding up their efforts to get to the moon and other places. Their rocket technology, rocket science. And on that subject, remember the Gaffer? That TV comedy series on UK TV, and that guy says to him at the beginning of the Gaffer, "Isn't it about time we had a new motor?" That guy says to the Gaffer, and the Gaffer says, "Yeah, Ralph, this car's worth more than a rocket manure." Remember when he says that? The late Gaffer, when he's not around, he died as well. So that's the Bond Street Hospital there. Can you see that? That's an old building. I'll get to the new look and I'll end it there. I'll end the video there. Let me just get on my bike. So you can get a view of me riding my bike. It is very hot today. I have got a protective screen on my video camera, which I actually unfortunately cracked at BHX airport last time, and I won't be going back there until someone forks out some money for me. Maybe if they can chip in some money, £50 will be I've been doing them a favour on PR, public relations, mentioning Birmingham Airport. So the least they can do is someone can maybe just send me some money. That will help with my costs, especially the additional costs for replacing my screen that cracked on my last visit to BHX Airport. So by all means, if you're a BHX employee, a member of staff there, if you want to send some money to me, by all means, obviously, if you've seen my videos, you might know that I'm quite regularly well-known face there. Obviously, I'm doing a good PR job for you. And here I'm arriving at the Lower Precinct now, and the New Look store, and they've even got the cheek now to put these racks up to put your bikes. Can you see that? That's the least they can do. Can you see that? So that your bike doesn't get nicked, even if your car is taken away from you. If it fails MOT or something. I'm going to park my bike there. I could maybe, lock my bike up there on that rack on New Look. I don't think I fancy doing that anyway. Well, there's other places where I can lock it up. Interesting, there's these signs here. Can you see that? Okay, that sign means no electric bikes, by the way. There's a £100 fine. There's quite a few of them in the town because people can be, run over by those dangerous bikes. They are quite dangerous, and at high speed especially. The electric bikes are very fast. Sometimes they're out of control and are hard to handle, and all the more reason to put up those signs. It doesn't refer to these bikes. I've got a standard bike. Can you see that? That's a standard bike, that is, and there's no motor on that. just my legs working on that, my own personal effort. And it is quite strenuous going up the hill. I think I'll end this video now anyway. You've been listening to Dr. James VOND on Wednesday, the 8th of April 2026. Standing outside besides the new look building. Struggling, guys, so don't forget, you can donate any amount of money to me. Help me with my finances.